I started this journey 20 years ago. I was just told, that I was the big dreamer. And I think it's first of all, gathering the right partners, doing enough research to understand what do you need in a remote patient monitoring device, first of all, and then what platform will you stand it up on? And having had really, really, I think I read, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, 638 different articles about different devices. And then having, I think, the stars aligned, I think COVID really helped us say, look, we're monitoring COVID patients at home. We had certain alerts and protocols that we used, and we would tell them, hey, it looks like your temp's high enough, or whatever other, ways we were monitoring these patients, oxygen saturation, shortness of breath, et cetera, that we would bring them into the hospital then, but pretty much cared for them remotely. So Intermountain was very forward thinking on that. And I think that became a perfect segue to me pushing a little bit harder and saying, look, can we please do this for pulmonary patients? Please let me take what is in the United States, we're deemed for hospital readmissions with COPD patients. And then asthma patients is one of our top 10 admitting diagnoses. I said, let me take those and see if we can make a difference using statistical analysis with the artificial intelligence platform that we're using and with the information that we'll be getting from these devices. We did 3 small tests of change, just 50 patients here, 50 patients there. And then I wasn't real happy, I'll be honest with you, with the devices we were using in terms of being able to monitor time and date they took the meds until I ran into Adherium. And it was all the work really of Vasant Kumar, who's the president and CEO of CareCentra. And he said, what do you think about this product? And got me a sample. And I said, this is exactly what we need. And so sending that up together. And then I think capturing the financial data, how much could I save? So for us in the United States, when I have an asthma patient admitted to the hospital, and it takes about a week, 5 days to a week to get them turned around, it's $30,000. If I have a COPD patient admitted, it's anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000, depending on what we have to do, obviously. And if you can overlap, I did a baseline study 10 years ago. Well, it's now, gosh, I guess it's been 13 years ago. And we created a COPD playbook and an asthma playbook that kind of showed where we had gaps in care, where we could improve. And once we started showing those things and closed those gaps, I think there are about 20 items in the COPD booklet that we closed. I think we started getting traction for, hey, I think they can't do this. I think they might be, it's the building of the trust, right? And having credibility. And from there, it just kind of blossomed. Things just came together perfectly. And at a time post-COVID, when this was really becoming really acceptable in our country, and certainly by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, which are it's the largest governmental insurer in the United States. I mean, it kind of became the wind beneath our wings. And knowing, and I'd stayed in contact with Vasant. He had heard me do a presentation where it was my big dream to have this happen. And he introduced me to Kevin at Adherium. And then I had already been working with another company, and I don't get paid for giving clinical advice of how they could improve their products. And then I had done this small test of change with that MIR Smart One for the FEV expiratory maneuver. And it just kind of all came together. And I think it's doing all that groundwork that added credibility to it, and the ability to do all those things that I promise you, trust me, we'll make this work. And then having phenomenal partners like CareCentra, Adherium, the MIR Smart One, and Massimo for pulse oximetry. It really has been it was like it was just meant to be. People ask me a lot of times, what drives it? I had, my mom had COPD and a horrible form of bronchiectasis. And she kept saying, why is it so hard, Kim, to get what I need? And so we created the Pulmonary Disease Navigator program. Everything just came together just perfectly. there are some real things in that whole nuggets of things that I just told you that really helped everything come together.